Meet the Marshall girls, the family who've had more boob jobs than any other in Britain. Mum Chantal and 4 of her daughters are all swelling with pride after a series of breast implants, and now they want youngest sister Brittany to go under the knife. The only female in the family with natural boobs is Brittany, but Chantal is already encouraging her to go for an enlargement operation. But Brittany Marshall decided not to follow in the footsteps of her mother and 4 older siblings. Unlike the other ladies, she is refusing to get breast implants. The Marshall women have spent a total of £50,000 on silicone breasts. The Duggars family, who became famous on the TLC network show 19 Kids and Counting. The show featured the Duggar family, parents Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar and their 19 children, 9 girls and 10 boys, all of whose names begin with the letter J. The family is known for its strict adherence to the Baptist faith and conservative values, which include restrictions against any birth control methods. On May 22, 2015, TLC suspended the series when the Duggars' eldest son, Josh, publicly apologized for having acted inexcusably following reports that he molested 5 girls, including some of his sisters, by fondling them. This announcement was made the same day Josh's wife Anna gave birth to their 4th child, Meredith Grace. It's the story that has gone viral on the internet, the tale of a grandmother who has fallen in love with her grandson and is giving up her pension to have his baby. Gray-haired Pearl Carter, 72, and her 26-year-old grandson Phil Bailey are said to be madly in love, and while she is well past the age of bearing a child herself, they say they are eagerly awaiting the baby that is developing in the womb of a surrogate mother. Realizing she could not give her young lover a child, Miss Carter has used her retirement money of £20,000 to find a surrogate mother and buy a donor egg to inseminate with Mr. Bailey's sperm. We can't talk about inappropriate relationships without bringing up Mary-Kate Letourneau, who not only hooked up with her 12-year-old student, Vili Fallot, but married him after spending 7 years in prison for statutory rape. After her release in 2004, since he was over 18, Vili asked the court for the no-contact order to be revoked, and the court agreed. Mary-Kate and Vili married in 2005, and she took his name. The happy couple have 4 children together, the first of whom was conceived when Mary-Kate was 35, and Vili 13. The daughters of Mary-Kate and her former student-turned-husband, Vili, are now older than their father was when, at age 12, he started an affair with his teacher. A family in Russia are behind a 6-year reign of terror, including at least 30 murders and countless robberies. Former nursery teacher Inessa Tverdieva, 46, and her second husband Roman Podkupayev, 35, a qualified dentist, were involved in the spate of ruthless serial killings. Inessa's daughter from her first marriage Victoria, 25, and her 13-year-old daughter Anastasia actively took part in all crimes. Roman died in a shootout with police when the middle-class killers were finally arrested, and Victoria was seriously wounded. 6 policemen were among their murder victims in a family crime spree which began in earnest 6 years ago, though some offenses go back to 1998, and these sisters named Delfina and Maria de Jesus Gonzalez hold the Guinness World Record for most prolific murder partnership, a dubious honor they earned due to their estimated 91 kills. Their victims were plucked from the brothel they ran together in Mexico. John Joe Gray claims to be a sovereign and was a fugitive from the law. He currently lives on his 50-acre, wooded ranch in Trinidad, Texas. He was involved in the longest-running law enforcement standoff in American history, lasting a few days short of 15 years, before the district attorney dropped the charges. The bearded grandfather, his children, grandchildren and friends have armed themselves with pistols and rifles and patrolled their grounds ever since, with the county sheriff choosing not to send cops in for fear of them being killed. The family have been living behind a fence without running water and electricity and making their own clothes. Hand-drawn warning signs littered the outskirts of the grounds, where the family grow their own fruit and vegetables to live off. When Griffith was a teenager, her actress mother, Tippi Hedren, and her stepfather, director Noel Marshall, decided they wanted to make a film about big cats after returning from a trip to Africa and seeing them in person. An animal trainer suggested they get to know them better by living with a lion, so they ended up taking Neil into their home. Neil the lion starred in the drama thriller Roar in 1981. Over 70 of the cast and crew were injured during the production of this film. This is what happens when the family pet is not domesticated. One of the cases which can accurately describe the evil and degeneration that a mother can carry within her soul is the case of Teresa Knorr, who literally tortured her children, forced them to be prostitutes, and then brutally killed 2 of them. Teresa had murdered her first husband, but she was found not guilty, because she claimed self-defense. She abused her poor kids for years and shot her daughter Susan and set her on fire. She then locked her other daughter Sheila in a closet without water and food and starved to death. Daughter Teresa contacted the police in 1992 after watching an episode of America's Most Wanted. Consequently, Teresa Cross was arrested and put away. Brooke Verity already had 3 children with her ex-husband when she offered to carry a child for gay couple Thomas Dessars and Michael Meehan. Meehan supplied the sperm, and in 2002 Verity gave birth to not 1, but 4 babies. Despite getting more than they bargained for with quadruplets, the couple still wanted another child, this time with Dessars' sperm. Verity agreed to act as surrogate again and gave birth to a son in early 2004. Meehan and Dessars broke up shortly thereafter. The quadruplets live with Meehan and his new partner while Verity was given custody of Dessars' son when Dad failed to appear in court. Though the story didn't end as intended, both families are healthy and happy. When it comes to listing 10 of the weirdest families ever, one has to include Stephanie Seymour and her son Peter Brad Jr. There was a time when Stephanie raised eyebrows and set off 1 or 2 incest alarms when she was more or less making out with her son Peter on the beach. This was back in 2011. Well, Harper's Bazaar ran with that very intimate bordering on sexual familial energy for a mother-son shoot in its latest issue. The S&M undercurrent, the hand placement, the sexy black dresses, Stephanie clutching a knife while her son brushes her curls makes many people cringe uncomfortably. In one photograph, Brant Jr. appears to be kissing Seymour on the mouth and brushing his hand over her breast. Brant Jr. rebuked his virtual critics on his Facebook fan page and released a statement to the press. "I would just like to say that these pictures have been taken completely out of context. My mother and I are very close as she is with all her children. She often hugs and kisses me and my siblings in a manner that is intimate." Brant added that because he's gay, it's different.